Hey, it's been a minute. Yeah, the last video I posted was 8 months ago. I was supposed to post part 2 of the sketchbook tour a month or two after that video, but shit happens. Or happened. I'm not gonna go into details, but long story short, I got a job, moved out, lived in a motel for a while, got an apartment, and now I feel comfy enough that I can start making these videos. Until I inevitably move out again. But yeah, here's part 2 of the sketchbook tour. Finally, it's a bit rough, but I'll get better at editing these as time goes on, or at least that's the plan. I've already got the third video planned out, so hopefully I can get this one out a lot faster than the last one. But I'll talk to you guys hopefully sooner than later. Boom. Okay. Hello everybody, my name is Grog, and it has been a hot minute, but we're back, and hopefully you guys saw that intro. If not, I put another thing I'll put like something in the timeline, so you can just skip ahead if you don't want to hear that intro part, but we're just gonna get right into this. The first part is gonna be digital, for the digital edition. And then I do want to show by the end of this video like a sketchbook, a very small sketchbook tour of what I've done since then. It's not a lot, but I do want to show it. So we're gonna do this one a little bit differently. I felt like in the last one it was a little too slow, so we're gonna go a little bit faster. We're not gonna I'm not gonna explain it if I over-explain it if I don't need to, right? So this one should be a lot faster. So let's get right into it. Starting off with this one. Oh, I forgot to full screen it. Sorry about that. Anyway, so starting off with this one, this is an original OC from a story that I want to work on later on, because I am working on a one-shot right now, but it is not. Yeah, this is probably will be more than a one-shot. This might be a full series, but this is the main character, and this is a kind of practice with black and whites, because I'm trying to get that manga style down. Looking at it now, I definitely would have benefited a lot by adding screen tones with the textures. It would have been really cool. Manga study from Alita Battle Angel. I'll put a picture of what I was going for. I didn't really like this one. This one unfortunately didn't hit it. It didn't hit for me. It just felt like it didn't mimic the look of the original series, because when you usually do an art study, I imagine it like bark plates, because I just recently started studying bark plates, and the whole point of it is trying to get it almost to, not exactly, but just trying to get it as close to it as possible, right? I believe that's the idea of it, to learn from copying. So I was doing something similar with this, but it just didn't turn out that well in my opinion. Random Baki sketch. This was on Rebel. Fan art, and I need to go. Hopefully I removed it. I really hope I did. Actually, you know what? Give me 5 seconds. We'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. So I did mess up. I didn't name some of these, so sometimes I'll have to do cuts if I see that one isn't exactly in order. I've been trying to fix that. I tried fixing that yesterday. I thought it was fixed, but whatever. So this is fan art of Boa Sander Sonia. I think that's how you say her name, from One Piece. I do really like her character design. I think it's kind of cool, like the way they can turn into snakes. It's kind of funny though, because when you look at the anime, you don't really see what is it? Boa Hancock doesn't really have snake form. I wonder if she does actually. Maybe they'll reveal that later in the manga. I don't think so. I think she just has the love fruit. So yeah, she's not an animal type. So never mind. And then here we have some whips, just trying to figure out how to draw her. Another one trying to draw her in her different forms. Butt studies, full studies, just looking around at them, Pinterest, and just grabbing these studies. I also follow a Discord server that has resources like these, so I just copy whatever I see every once in a while. This one I really like this one. This one was a Casca. I think this was another art study. This one as well. I do like it, but it isn't exactly the same as the study I was going for, but I do think I learned a lot during this one. I had a really fun time, like trying to draw the armor, the sword, learning to do more, putting my folds to test and clothing to test. I've been studying a Morpho's book on folds and creases and all that. It's a wonderful book. I definitely recommend it. I also really enjoy the the cross hatching I did on this. It was really fun to use Rebel's charcoal. I think I used the charcoal brush to line out the hair and all that. This is before any of that. You can see the cape was kind of like a I'd say a last second thing. It was added after I already gotten a good amount in there, and there was no line art to this. I forgot to mention, like, I just kind of you can see like there is the thing, what is it, the basic, the shapes in the back, but after that I got the rough, and then I just kind of just started adding over it as I went. This was all in one layer, I believe. Cat pick. I had a friend who was showing a picture of his cat, and he showed another picture of his other of a art he got from it, and I just decided to give a crack at it and see if I could draw it similar. Back on Rebel again, using their oil brushes and all that. Catwoman picture. I do not like this one. It just doesn't look like latex. It looks like baggy. It looks it looks like a trash bag, and also the anatomy isn't quite there. Her like back, and it kind of looks, I don't know, it looks swollen. That's what this whole picture kind of looks swollen to me, like if there's just a bunch of air inside that suit. So it doesn't really feel like latex, so I don't really like this one. An OC, I was watching Dungeon Meshi, and I got into it, so I made me want to draw like a little D&D like chef based character, and this was him. I don't have a name for him, but I remember his thing was that he would have a little one of those little satchels where chefs usually keep their knives, and that would be like his different weapons. But then he'd actually have like a really good knife in there for cooking, so he wouldn't want you. So like only he's allowed to use that weapon satchel because he knows which knife is the one that's for cooking and which one's for fighting. And I thought that was pretty funny. These are just poses mixed with some character creation. So I went ahead and found some poses and added a bit of character to them. Buff tomboy, a furry character, ballerina, you know, stuff like this. One was okay. Torso studies, random character design. I think I was trying to mess with making characters a little bit more chubby in this time, so I only drew this one, and this one was okay, but I do think I can do something better now. It's like half chubby, like, and then her like shoulders look a bit buff. So yeah, let's keep going. This was from a book I have about learning to color. It's I believe it's a Japanese book. It's got Japanese like it's full Japanese, and the reason I didn't continue using it was just because I wasn't a really big fan of how it was teaching the colors. Like, this is what the end product after following along. It's not bad, I don't mind it, but it's not what I'm going for. I don't know. I'm reading currently Color and Light. I need to finish that book, but I think that's a much better resource for learning about color theory. And then after that, learning to color, I probably would recommend, I forgot his name, but I might put it up here during the video. This one guy that I watched, color with someone, I forgot what it's called, Color with Kurt, there we go. But yeah, that, I'll go ahead and link that channel. That I really like how he teaches you how to color in those videos. They're really good. Highly recommend it. Another OC sketch. This one I was practicing with some colors, so red background, very intense red with some harsh shadows. The shadows not entirely accurate, and again, this was before I started experimenting. And I think again, this is like the other pick before I started using screen tones. So I do think I do like the idea of how these look, like the blacks, but I do think it would have helped a lot more with screen tones. I think I would have saved more time, and it would have been a lot nicer, because the cross hatching, it's not exactly consistent across each one, and it doesn't have to be exactly consistent. I still think it looks good. It's just that I think that a screen tone over this would have been a little better, because it's, I don't know, looking back at it, it looks okay, but I would have preferred screen tones now looking at it again, or I prefer them now, who knows. OC, this one I was using Rebel, and I was trying to focus on the markers. They have a marker brush, and I was trying to see if I can get an alcohol marker look, because I have some Ohuhu markers, and I don't really use them that much. I want to, but I don't know. I don't know. They're collecting dust for now. Maybe I'll do a video with them, but this is what I tried using. I tried mimicking some alcohol markers, and I think it was almost there. It's just I need to do more experimenting. But yeah, I never finished it. Another study. This was for Dorohedoro. This is early on. Excuse me. Ugh, I need a coffee. Anyway, let's see. So I did a study of Dorohedoro. So this one, I have a whip somewhere around here. Let me actually, you know what? We're gonna have to pause again just because I need to make sure I can find that. Hold up, BRB. All right, I'm back. Okay, so yeah, okay, I did find the other one luckily. So yeah, this was an art study from the Dorohedoro chapters. It was pretty fun. This one I think I streamed it on the YouTube channel. There's some pages, but what sucks is the original files on Clip Studio Paint. I had to reset my computer. I thought I had it in the save cloud, but I guess I didn't. So they're gone, and that's very upsetting because this was a really fun piece to do. Dorohedoro was probably one of my top 5 manga. It's incredibly good. I really do recommend reading it. It's such a fun story. But yeah, this was the study. I thought this one was pretty good. This one I think was one of my best. This is just a line art, and you can see some of the things I tried adding. I would add more looking back at it. I would like to add thicker lines where there's more shadows. I would like to add thicker lines, maybe in areas where I'd say I think it's besides the shadows. I think you can add it in areas in the folds and all that. But yeah, I definitely would look back and try to add more if I were to do this again. This was a storyboard. Hopefully I said that right. But what I do sometimes is I like to just draw storyboards. Sometimes I'll get a little bit of motivation. I'll want to draw something like a little story, a small story, and I think there's like two more storyboards. But what's it called? I like to just draw storyboards sometimes when I'm bored, and that's why I kind of started drawing this one shot so I can just start working on stuff because I like it. It's fun. Doing storyboards is a really fun thing to do. I originally was going into animation first storyboards, but right now we see how it's all going. So right now I'm kind of focusing on comics just for the fun of it while I try and up my animation game and all that. But this is one of them. It's from another story. This is not the same story that we were looking. This is not the same setting as everyone. This is a whole different story. So it's the one shot, the other original character, and then this one. So I have 3 stories I'd like to work, but if I really need to start with the one shot and then get into them, or otherwise I'm never gonna finish these, man. And then I'm gonna be an old man and I'll have nothing to show. But this is a story called Olympia, and this is like maybe I don't know what arc this would be, like how many chapters deep it would be, but this is a arc. I don't know what to name it. The original name, god damn, I'd be on there a lot, man. But what's it called? The original name for this was gonna be the Wandering Samurai arc, I think, but a whole lot of stuff happened before this, and so I just wanted to draw this specific panel. So there's 3 pages to this. It's the first part where he's going to a village. You see like there's the students learning. Maybe I think that's 2 kids playing in a family watching them play, and then the whole city's there. And then you can see the main antagonist of the story at the bottom right, preparing to do something. And then we see I imagine it's like I think what was supposed to happen was it's either pressure that's pushing the flowers down, or he's taking the life from nature and everything. So it's messing with the terrain around him. But you can see that what happens, it's supposed to be silent by the last panel, and then the big reveal is that he basically cut the entire city in like one slash, and now their souls are trapped in their sword. And that's supposed to be like the intro to this main antagonist, which I don't know. I like it, but who knows? Maybe once I start getting into this story, this might change. It's all welcome to change, but I do, I just like to do them because I have the feeling for storyboards every once in a while. I have the feeling to draw a small story or something. So this is just a part of it, and then and if it's added, it's added. If it's not, oh well, it's okay. It might be something better. It might be something worse. We'll see. And once again, the OC, but this is a younger version of him. This is where I started working with screen tones. This is what I mean by, I think if I were to do it again, I would much prefer screen tones, because I like the idea of the screen tones being used for like the mid shadows, and then once we get to the dark part, the darkest shadows, I just use straight black, because I do think in this one the blacks complemented a lot more versus the other one where the blacks just it's too much. Maybe that's like what I'm thinking. It might be too much. But this was inspired by the Baki manga, because if you've seen or read Baki, because if you watch the anime it doesn't show it, but in the Baki manga, the artist, he will have chapters that have the character either flexing, maybe they're doing some sort of like pose or whatever, and it's like and they're flexing their muscles, and it looks, I love it. I love whenever he does that. So this was a Baki inspired picture, or I mean drawing. another Baki inspired fan art. So this one was I mean piece, not fan art. This is my original character. This was a Baki inspired cover for this manga that I was thinking about doing. This one is called Nexus, and there we have the original character once more. This is between three other artists, we were supposed to do a cover for fun, you know. I did mine. I don't know if they did theirs. They never showed it in the Discord that I was in, but this is the one I came up with. Volume 8. I think Volume 8 might be. I might be pushing it with this because I think Volume 8 would be like near the end of the story if I were to be doing this. Like 12 volumes would be the most I think I could manage with this story, because I don't like stretching out stories. I'm not a big fan of really long stories. Like I can read One Piece, but personally I'd never do something like that. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of those anymore, really. Never finished it. This was a another Dorohedoro art study. This was from the main character, but this is why the story goes. This is why I say I recommend it. This is the same character we originally saw in the beginning, who was the Kaiman, but this is his other self. He has three selves, and it's crazy when you find out what happens. But yeah, this is messing with just pure inking, and I do like the way it looks, but you can see I kind of messed up. This is like the problem when you change your canvas's color from like the white to a yellowish. Once you start trying to add like shadows and all that, it does kind of mess with it if you don't use screen tones and stuff like that. At least this is what happened to me. There's probably other people who've done it, who figured it out, but this is what I did early on in 2024. Back on Rebel, this was the speed paint that's posted earlier. This was more Dorohedoro fan art. This was me wanting to do some of my favorite antagonists, quote unquote antagonists. No one's really an antagonist. It's kind of funny, but and it's kind of like the biggest one for a good minute, but then the real antagonist is like revealed, and then you're just like, what the hell? And also you can probably tell I really like Dorohedoro, but this was the whip, and this was the final one. You can see I kind of got rid of the hands. I do think that there's something wrong with the perspective in this a bit. I don't know. I forget his name, the guy on the right, but he looks a bit, I don't know, he looks like a giant compared to the other two. Maybe I got something wrong with it, but it's fine. Either way, I still like the way it came out. I think this was watercolor mixed with colored pencil. That's like my main thing. I always mix watercolor with color pencils because I always think it has a really nice look to it once you mix them properly. So I really do like how this one turned out. An OC, random OC. I have two other I have a lot of OCs, surprisingly. I always thought I didn't have that many. I always thought I had like two, but I found out like I have like maybe 7 or 8, which is, I don't know, I guess I just never took into consideration. But this is another one. This is, I have no idea what her name is, but she's Hispanic, and I kind of got inspiration from this one artist because I really like the hairstyle, so I tried making a hairstyle similar. But I might have to change it up a little because I feel like it looks too similar. If I find a picture, I'll put it up. This was in 2024 again, so let's see. Another artist that heavily inspires like some of my works as well is the artist from Plus Size Elf. I read it, but what really attracted me to him was his art. His art's incredible. Holy crap! Like obviously, like it's not everyone's cup of tea. If you're not a big fan of the proportions in like animes like Plus Size Elf or other manga where they kind of exaggerate some of the female proportions, you probably won't like his art. I really like his art because even though I understand that it's exaggerated, I still think the amount of work and the way it just feels very gestural and very dynamic, I really do like it. And even though they are exaggerated, it's all atomically correct still. So the guy does know what he's doing. Most of these artists do, and they break it so well that you just can't help but just have an appreciation for it. So I do plan on doing more art studies with him a lot because I do not draw that many female characters. I think throughout this we've only seen like maybe 3 or 4 female characters, and some of them are just mostly headshots. So I do need to practice female proportions and anatomy a lot more, which I plan to do probably more on stream and all that. Here they are. So these are the bark plates that I was talking about. So this one was just the first page. You aren't really supposed to copy. You don't really need to copy this first part. Not the eyes, I mean, but the sculpture to the left. I don't think you need to copy that one. That's just more an example of like what you're going to be working on. And then the right side, we're looking at the eyes, and then we're learning how to I forgot what it was, like angling the eyes or the proportions or something. It's really hard to understand that book sometimes, just because I don't read it fully. I just look at it. I look at the art, and I copy there as best I can, and then maybe I'll watch a video trying to explain what was the intention behind this type of work. Oop. Hold up. It's probably went all blurry right now, and you're probably wondering why, and that's because there are some not safe for work pages here that I forgot to delete. So this one is not available. Y'all ain't gonna see this one. I'll probably post. Ooh, oh my god, I'm sorry, I keep yawning, but I'll probably post if they haven't been posted, I'll post the not safe for work ones probably on Blue Sky, because because I don't have a Twitter. Actually, you know, I'll post whatever it is I have. Maybe I have a Newgrounds, but I just don't like having a Twitter. I don't think blah, 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 blah. We're not gonna go into it, but anyway, let's go ahead and move on. All right, unblurred now. So this is a really old one. So the intention behind this was that I was going to use the Morpho book, and I was going, hold up, let me look at it. What's the name of the book again? Oh yeah, Morpho clothing folds and creases. Yeah, so that's what I've been studying. So the idea was I was going to study this, and I was going to fill this canvas with a bunch of the studies I had, and it didn't get that far. I think I could have filled it up a bit more, but I was slow with this. But I do think you can see improvement if we go ahead and look at the first row. It is a bit stiff. Some of these folds don't look that good, and as we get lower into the canvas, you can see there's a bit more. It's a lot less stiff. It feels a lot more natural versus the top one. But we do kind of regress a little bit because we kind of overdo it. But later on, I get a lot better with this, and I do still plan to use this book. And once I'm done with it, I'll probably be studying off of Pinterest and other sources. Again, so here we go, another Morpho book. Another Morpho book, another Morpho study. So this is where I would say like I gotten better. This is a bit apart. I think this was maybe a couple months apart, and I really like this one because I would say the one at the bottom left is the reason I got this book, because I really like when people make the puffier or like the saggy clothes kind of, and so I just started getting this book and learning to do the folds because I want to do art like that every once in a while. Let's see more. This was another one. I think this one surprisingly was around the same time as this one, so it's kind of funny how like as you draw there is a bit of a weirdness to your art, where sometimes you'll have a really good piece and other times you'll just feel like you're drawing like shit, which is probably like one of these days. Another Foles. This was on stream, a recent stream. This one was about 2 weeks ago, so this one was just a quick one. I didn't really take too much time. This was after the bark plates, so let's go ahead and look at the other stuff. Dynamic pose. This one was I remember I saw this lady on Pinterest and I tried copying the poses, but I wasn't very happy with it because at the end I realized I'm not very good at foreshortening, which is something I've been starting to practice more and more to get better at it. I also bought a book on another perspective book because I have a Perspective Made Easy. I have the Perspective How to Draw book by Scott Robertson, and now I got Framed Ink, which I'm going to start using Framed Ink and learn a bit more on perspective and all that. And you know what, there's a watercolor one, but we'll just find it when we find it. I don't think I want to pause it this time, but this is the Frerin meme that we saw around where Frerin is looking up, the guy who tried drawing that angle on Reddit, I believe. I tried mimicking it as well, but I failed. I feel like I completely failed because it looks nothing like the angle. So I definitely need to practice more on head angles. It did really humble me on like my abilities on learning specific angles and all that. PNG OC that one of my friends was trying to get me to do. I don't know if I'll come back to it, but I did think it was pretty funny. The idea was it was just a buff frog and that would be my PNG tuber, but right now we're kind of sticking with like this that you see on the bottom right. OC again with a bit more foreshortening, and this is more screen tones, and I really like the look of it. The original's over here, and that is what it looks like without the cutoff. But I figured that this has way better composition compared to this, because this is just directly in the middle. There's like nothing really like leading the eye, but in this one there's a lot more. There's a lot better composition. It's leading a lot better than it was in this one. Let's see. The foreshortening practice that I was talking about. This one was a couple months back. This is when I was just trying to copy whatever I saw on Pinterest. There it is. So that's the watercolor version. Again, this one I think it sucks. But what's it called? But I'll definitely. I don't know if I'll do a redraw, but I'll definitely try and make something similar to this to try and redeem myself in the future. Line Sensei practice. So this was when Line Sensei on YouTube, great guy by the way. I love this. I have all 3 of these because I do think he does a really good job at teaching once he understands like the thing. Because on his Discord he was like talking about how he's on his little journey to learn how to draw furries, and then as he learned, after he was done learning, he went and like showed on YouTube how he did it, which is kind of like what PCAT does. But Line Sensei, I don't think he's known as well as PCAT. But moving on, yeah, I followed one of his tutorials and like trying to get it, and I do like how it turned out. This one I thought it was pretty fun, and I was like, let me get these and put them in my playlist so that I can come back to this, because this is pretty good information and the way he teaches is very understandable. This was on my Galaxy tablet. I tried using this program called Infinite Painter, which has its own screen tones, and it looked pretty good, but I didn't realize how wide Guts' face was on the tablet. So when I uploaded, I was like, why does it look so wide? It looked way skinnier when I was drawing it, so that was kind of fun. Anatomy studies, just the hand and leg. A Hollow Knight. This one was done on Twitch. This was a Silk Song, not Hollow Knight, fan art. This was really fun to do. This is I'm streaming it actually. I'm on Twitch currently because I haven't beaten it in a while since I uploaded the video and it came out and all that. But I'm currently trying to play that. But this was a fan art of it, and I thought it was a really fun fan art. I got again back on Rebel. This was using watercolors and I think acrylic, and this is what I mean when I say that I really like how its brush engine works, because if we scroll down here, when I'm in the program, it's a lot it looks a lot more clearer, but you can see the texture of the brushes, the bristles actually overlapping and like thickening up as we paint over something, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, look, this one shouldn't be in here. Well, that's nice, but yeah, we're gonna skip this one. We'll look at it in the sketchbook tour, but this is more folds either way. This one was a transfer. This one luckily is not going to be in the sketchbook. This is just a paper, but this one was watercolored in traditionally just a car, doing after learning from a little bit from How to Draw, Scott Robertson's book. This one, another piece of paper. This one had to be scanned in. Some fan art of Goblin Slayer. Sometimes I like to do little poses, like I like to find stuff like this and they look really cool, so I try to draw them, and this one I had a lot of fun with. I think I got the foreshortening a lot better with this. The armor also, I really like the armor in this. The proportions, ignore the proportions on his right arm though. ignore that. Another picture, another watercolor, traditional watercolor practice. This was Apothecary Diaries Mao Mao in her little like cat form or whatever. Another one with the OC. It's funny going back, right? So if I were to like, we'll put a side by side, right? We can, if we look at this one versus the other one, which try to do completely different characters in my opinion. So I really want to keep this as the original, but I want to change the hairstyle because I'm really bad at drawing hair. This was another manga one. This one, no one in particular. This was just a pose, and then I started started going at it with the inks and all that. This is when I started getting a lot more comfy experimenting with Clip Studio and its screen tones, and I really like the look I got from this. It's like the Battle Angel Alita manga. At least I think it looks a bit like it, and that's why I want to do more of those studies, because I really like that style, and I would kind of go for something like that, not entirely like that, but this type of look is what I kind of want to go for if I were to do manga. This was an attempt at a Kaiju number 8 fan art, but oh boy, drawing the main character
there's so many things, like so many details that I just gave up at one point because I was like, oh, this is just annoying, and I'm really bad at it. Uh, Cell shade practice with Kobayashi from Dragon Maid. Another drawing from the another fan art with the Elf Can't Lose Weight artist. I keep forgetting. I don't know. Keep forgetting your name. Elfruda or I don't know how to say your name, but yeah, this is another one. If it blurred right now, it's probably because it's not safe for work. On the part two of the bark drawings, this is when I was actually doing one of the practices where the practice involved. This is what I meant by saying like we'd get a picture and then we'd have to mimic it. So these were feet that were having heavy light on them, and so the shadows were very easy to follow, and it gave a good idea of how light would affect shadows and how the mid tones and all that would affect it. So this was a really fun one. Again, this one was also an on stream. We also got some mouth things, and I kind of started understanding the lines and after this, but I still can't explain how they work. Another foreshortening attempt with the same. I kind of mimic the same fist foreshortening, which I really should stop doing because I'll get really good at doing this one day, but then I will be terrible at other types of foreshortening. This is when I first got Rebel, just practicing with the brushes. This was after a bit of morpho studies, so I wanted to do this drawing of Mirko I found on Pinterest, and I really like the way the jacket looks on this. I think I got the folds to the type of degree that I want. It's not overly realistic, but it is like right around there. Like it's very nice. This was colored in Rebel, but this is a traditional drawing of Nami. I have the traditional one in my sketchbook, so we'll show that in the flip through at the end. A Nico, another one right after Robin, Nico Robin fan art with watercolors and colored pencils again. This one was fun. And again, put all three right here. How do I fuck up this one character, man? It's so hard for me to figure out how I want this character to look. Out of all of them though, I hate this one the most. I don't like the nails. I don't like the foreshortening. I don't like anything about this piece. It looks boring, but also it just looks the colors and everything. I hate it. I hate it. Okay, this OC I like a lot more. This one is supposed to be what's it called? Friends with the other one, the Hispanic one. I again they don't have names, but these two are supposed to be in goofy scenarios. She's a bit of a the chill character who does dumb shit, and the other one who looks like a big meanie is actually very nice and very sweet and all that. This is from Olympia. This is what the original characters used to look like, but they're definitely gonna change because Senshi looks like your generic harem MC or whatever those memes are, where they have the anime protagonist with no eyes and everybody, or they all look the same. I hate it because I did it because I didn't know how to draw really like characters. I really didn't have an idea of how character design worked, and then I saw the meme where people talked about how all those just look like self inserts, and I'm all like, that's cringe. Now I have to change them. This was where I used to live. This is a study outside using Rebel. I went out of my area, took a picture, and came back to paint it. And it's paint. This is the painted version. More watercolors and color pencils. Someone was asking about how to draw the rib cage, so I went ahead and did this little example right here for them to look at. It was pretty easy to to give this example because I mostly just took from what I remembered from Michael Hampton, because Michael Hampton is a really good teacher. Some Risk of Rain fan art that I haven't finished. Um, Composition fun where I was. This was when I was really into Ghost of Tsushima, so I kind of had this little idea right here. I just went ahead and drew it out, but I didn't plan on coloring this. Traditional piece. This one was from the sketchbook I made on my own. This one's all the way back. Hold up. Oh, it's blurry. Okay, well, this one is just another fold study. More folds. I do like these ones too. These ones look really nice. For shortening, once again, same hand stuff. I really need to change the type for shortening I do. This is without the hand in the middle to see like the coil method versus the cylinder method. Oh, okay, I guess I missed this one. Line art version of the other one without the cell shading. I also should mention that one. I also wanted to get better at cell shading. So in that one, I kind of started mimicking some of the artists that I follow. This was I have the sharpener on my desk in my traditional streams. You'll probably see it whenever I do my traditional streams. This is my sharpener. I just went ahead and did a study with the sharpener right next to me. Shin from Dorohedoro, more fan art. OC comic stuff. So this was the OC, my OC. I think this is a battle. Yeah, like this is me just messing around with, just messing around really. I didn't really plan on doing anything besides the initial sketch. So you can see, let's see, more of that character. And then the other OC, Willis, that's Willis. He's from the current one shot that's being worked on right now. He is a mailman, and he's gonna have a lot of fun in his journey. And then at the left right there, just got some some cross hatching, some anatomy. Oh, what's it called? I had to blur this one. And this one, oh, I hated this one. I have the Stonehouse Anatomy book. To some people, it's controversial. Me, I think it's okay. After like looking at it, my personal opinion is that I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's the end all be all anatomy book, but I do think it's cool to have. Like it's a good book to look at, but nowhere near the best, I would say. I think it can be close, but in my opinion, there are better. There are better with less pages also. And this is one of the things that I also have gripes with, is that he kind of showed you the skull and adding skin all the way, and I followed this tutorial. It wasn't a complete waste of time, but definitely didn't need to do it. Another comic part with this guy. I can't believe I just skipped over spoilers for the next one. But yeah, this is another little comic shot that I didn't finish. This was from Soul Eater. What's her name? Maka? I've never watched or read Soul Eater, so I might read it, because I know the anime is terrible, but at least the ending. So yeah, but this is a painting study. Like I didn't want to do just line art with this, so I tried painting it. This is the other storyboard I was talking about, so this one was fun. Explosion happens, character wakes up, they're waking up the other character, they're a bit hazy, which is why they have like lines all over their head and all that, and then they think he wakes up, and then they're like, oh, what's going on? Oh, we did it, we survived or something. And then there's the antagonist right there. He's alive, pulls up with the grenade launcher, goes ahead and shoots it. Then the chase scene starts, but then, oh no, they can't get away for one reason, and that's that blood. The person has a lot of blood loss from their head and all that, so they pass out. We don't know what really happens, but what's it called? This is probably part of a one shot, so on this other one shot that I work, you'll find out what happens to him if I ever make it to that point. Anyway, another anatomy study, or like poses and all that. Oh, here she is. So this is what she looks like full body, and again, I don't know her name, but this is what she looks like full body. This was a watercolor practice after I got Rebel with one of the chapters from Dragon Maid. This one was fun to do. This one was pretty. I like this. I like it. This was, you can just find images like this online, or sometimes if you're allowed to, you can take pictures. But this was a room with a bunch of cars and all that. These are like mail trucks and all that. And what I did was I found it, downloaded it, and then I threw it into Clip Studio, and I started working on that. I forgot what it's called, but basically you can turn pictures into a manga background. So I tried experimenting with it, because this is what Willis's job's gonna be. So I kind of wanted to see if I can use this and if it would look good at all. This was magma session, one of my friends on Discord. And this one, is this the last one? I think it might be. Hold up, let me check. Okay, wait, we got one more after this. So this is a picture of Willis after this is just a fan art that was supposed to be released on Christmas, but I messed up, so a bunch of stuff happened, so it got delayed to like January, the first or second week of January. So this one was a fun one, him doing his delivery, and then I thought it'd be comedic to be on the no parking sign. And then this is one of the pages that's supposed to be going on in the one shot. This is kind of being experimental, trying to figure out what I want to happen for this page. So this is I'm hoping that this can be the quality of the one shot when it's out. It'll be like this, but you know, it won't have all the sketchiness. It'll be a clean line art. Well, not entirely clean. I'm not gonna try and make it look that clean, but you get the idea. This is kind of what I'm going for the whole one shot. So yeah, this is the last one, but we do have the sketchbook, so we're not done. But this is the the ending of the digital side. So I will see you guys in a minute. There won't be any talking, I believe, for the next part. I'll just go ahead and let you guys see the sketchbook. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's been way too long, and in the next video, hopefully I can do something a bit more, I don't know, maybe make more creative. The next one will be scripted, probably. It'll depend on how I'm feeling. But yeah, this was the ending of the digital side, and hopefully we can see you all next time. And oh yeah, and make sure to you can check out my Twitch. My name is Grog, and I'll probably be streaming here on YouTube as well, so that you guys can just get updated on my art journey and all that. But I'll see you all next time.